You're listening to a Frequency Podcast Network production.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Welcome to Thursday. My name is Brock.
I'm Dalby.
I do want to give a big round of applause and a thank you to everyone who has followed the Brock and Dalby Instagram page.
Yeah, it's been awesome to see that number keep climbing, and we've managed to follow a good handful of you guys back, too.
We are so close to hitting 1,000 followers.
Like, right on the doorstep from last I checked.
997 as of right now.
Ooh.
Can 3 of you that listen to this please just follow? It bugs me so bad.
There's got to be 3 people that listen to the podcast, use Instagram, haven't followed us yet, that can take us over that threshold once this gets public.
Yeah.
We would love to hit that mark, and then, I mean, hey, listen, if there's more than 3 of you, we'd love more of you to follow us. We're always posting pictures and videos and clips from the show and stuff like that.
Dalby slides in the odd nude from time to time.
Yeah, but you always delete it before anybody gets to see
I
it.
don't want to get flagged for that.
You're the only one with a nudity strike between the two of us.
I got
there.
flagged for my nipple once.
Nipple boy.
Yeah.
So don't be pinning that on me.
2025 was a weird year. Go follow the Brock and Dalby Instagram page. We appreciate y'all.
We're just at Brock and Dalby.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Last night, I learned about, I'll say maybe the most interesting band of all time.
Okay.
They're called Hate Beak. They're a metal band from Baltimore. Have you ever heard of them before?
No, I've heard of Hate Breed. I've never heard of this. Sorry, is it Hate Beak?
Hate Beak.
Okay.
Have a listen to this.
What?
You hear those squawks?
Hang on. Is that a human being as the singer?
It is not a human being. Want to take another guess?
I'm going to guess it's a duck.
That is a parrot, my friend.
A parrot.
This may be the first band of all time to have an avian vocalist.
That's incredible.
Yes, the parrot's name is Waldo.
Super metal.
Yeah, and apparently this band refuses to play live because they don't want to hurt the bird's hearing, but they have 2 separate albums that are out that you can listen to.
That's amazing.
And, you know, I wouldn't say it's the best kind of music, but it's very unique.
If I'm being honest, and I'm going to offend somebody here, but as someone who doesn't listen to a ton of like really screamy metal,
Yeah.
his vocals are indistinguishable from the average metal vocalist.
I mean, he's better than a lot of vocalists I've seen. Yeah.
I've been at some bars on a Friday night and heard some bands nobody's ever heard of before, and they sounded worse than that.
The 2 guys that are in the band were quoted as saying they realized that the bird's squawk sounded better than some of the vocalists they've performed with. And they figured, why not?
Which, what a bird if you ever, like, you're reading their interview and you're like, well, I used to sing with those guys.
Parrots are pretty metal, man, it turns out.
Okay, but now, so here's the thing. Parrots famously speak after learning by imitation. So who is this bird's vocal coach?
True.
Who is this bird's inspiration?
Play enough CDs around him, he gets used to it. I'm starting to think of like all the sort of like avian kind of metal band. Dude, if you got a goose in there.
Oh my God. The hissing and the honking?
Yeah.
With like a nice aggressive
Oh, you get a
backbeat?
solid breakdown and a I think we just came up with a whole new genre, feathercore.
Bird metal.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
We got friend of the show, Steve, on the phone. What's the most metal animal in your opinion?
It's got to be the honey badger.
True.
Because you know how metal bands talk like they don't care? The honey badger really don't care.
Also, badgers do just sound really aggressive if you ever hear them make a bunch of noises. Like,
True, yeah.
They get...
And the color scheme, you know, the black with the gray and the white. He looks metal, too.
Yeah. Just the way they even stand around. They're like, open this pit up.
Yeah. They got them like black streaks over their eyes. Like it looks like they're wearing like grease paint and stuff.
Yeah.
And then like, honestly, I'm going to play this. This is what a badger sounds like. Like, sorry, that's vocals to songs I've heard before.
You ever seen that meme of the disrespect your surroundings? That's the honey badger.
Actually, no. You want to do the disrespect your surroundings? Did you know that the Tasmanian devil is not just a cartoon character?
Oh, really?
It's a real animal that exists. So imagine disrespect your surroundings.
Oh, yeah, that's metal. That's metal.
Also, I'll show you the video later, but it's got like the jacked up teeth and everything. Like, it's metal.
A lot of people are saying like bulls, rhinos, I think could all be very metal. Someone said pigs. I feel like pigs are more like juggalos.
I see where you're coming from.
You know what I mean?
Although, I did just rewatch the movie Snatch the other day, and don't forget that pigs will eat a human body clean off this planet.
Pretty metal, yeah.
That's pretty metal.
Scorpions are pretty metal.
Scorpions literally walk around in body armor with a blade shanking people. That's about as metal as
Someone
it comes.
said wasps, and I will say wasps are pretty metal, and they've got that pit mentality too. If you hurt one of their friends,
yeah,
they're going to come after you.
The problem is wasps are also that one guy in the pit where everybody's like moshing and into the music and having a good time.
They're a crowd killer.
And they're just like swinging their elbows around like, I'll hit anybody.
Absolute crowd killer.
Ooh, armadillo?
Armadillo's metal.
I don't know about an armadillo. I can't think of what they sound like, but like, I mean, just the fact that they can roll up. Imagine an armadillo in the pit, rolling up into the ball and just bang, 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 bang.
That's a little circle pit.
Absolutely. They're having fun.
Someone said raccoons. Raccoons seem more punk rock, you know?
Yeah.
They're going through the garbage. They're like crust punky kind of kids.
Yeah.
Them and skunks, because skunks got the mohawks.
That's right. Yes. They got the string.
And all real punk rockers just absolutely stink.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
So earlier in the show, this happened.
I will say this. Bless you.
Sorry. I was sneaking up the whole call.
Bless you. I do want to say thank you to everyone who said bless you on the text line.
I want to say thank you to the few people that took the time to type Gesundheit.
I didn't know that's how it was spelled.
You said like, oh, if you're really polite, you'll say it. I'm like, no, that's the harder one to type.
I also learned that apparently Gesundheit, translated from German to English, is just health. So if you ever said Gesundheit to someone, you're just basically being like, health.
I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to start from now on when you sneeze, instead of saying bless you, I'm just going to yell, health! And you got to do it with that really like hard German gusto.
Health.
Because Gesundheit.
The power of Christ compels thee.
It's like when we were talking about a week ago about how like you thought bless you was like trying to keep Jesus in your soul.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I thought when you sneezed, they said bless you because Jesus was escaping you.
Right. Imagine just like trying to stop Jesus by just shouting at him. Health! Get back in there!
Be gone, demon.
This is how we ward off sickness in 2025. We just shout down the germs.
I want to give someone a proper blessing.
Really? I feel like, well, you're an ordained minister, aren't you? Or is it minister or is it something else?
I'm an ordained minister.
Yeah. Which, again, by the way, if you ever want to call the bad line and see if Brock will officiate your wedding, he is legally capable.
Maybe I'll just start like a Gregorian chant the next time someone starts sneezing.
I feel like you have the power to bless people in an official capacity after that course you took.
May a heavenly fourth look favorably upon you.
Or if you ever do get to officiate someone's wedding, just yell, married! And it's over.
762-555. What's the funniest thing you could possibly say to someone when they sneeze?
Because health has got to be up there.
Health is amazing. Honestly, if you start pointing at someone and go, sick! Sick!
You know what my favorite thing to do, but I only do it with people that I know, like who know me and my sense of humor.
Yeah.
Is instead of saying bless you or anything, when someone sneezes, I just immediately go, gross!
How come we don't bless farts? You're thinking about it now. It's the same thing, just reverse, right?
I think it's because a sneeze, unless you sneeze on somebody, a sneeze can't hurt anybody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, a fart can ruin the mood in the room.
The fart is the true demon.
Whereas the sneeze is just like, these things happen. You know, it's fine. I just sneezed live on the radio and nobody was affected by it. Whereas if I had farted at the end of that phone call, you would have had to have left the room.
Yeah.
So I think that's why we don't bless farts.
Is the ew the bless of farts? That's
gross.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
I do need to apologize.
Here we go again.
Because after being off for a week, I almost forgot. I had tomorrow booked off because I'm going to Sum 41 in St. Catharines tonight.
2 weeks of vacation over Christmas holidays.
Yeah.
come back for 4 days? 5 days.
5 days.
Immediately back on another week's vacation.
Yeah.
And then 4 days.
Yeah.
And another day off.
I apologize. I'm a vacation boy. I'm terrible. I know. But I've had this booked for months. So
That's true. And I mean, very
I didn't
exciting.
know about the Mexico trip. So
Very exciting chance to see a band that you've been a fan of for many, many years.
I'm going to wheel out all the way down to St. Catharines tonight to go check out the Sum 41 show, only because that was the cheapest one.
Yeah.
It was $90 for a floor ticket. It's like $240 everywhere else.
Dude, some of these shows I've been seeing, because I got friends out in Western Canada where I used to live, so like Winnipeg and through Saskatchewan into Alberta.
Yeah.
All these people have been talking about how much money they spent for their Sum 41 experience. $90 is a solid investment.
I'm curious how long Sum 41 is going to stay retired, though.
You don't think this is it?
I don't know. I feel like this is just a thing that bands do. They always do these like little retirement shows, and then like a few years later they do a reunion show, and it's basically like whoever goes broke in the band first and needs money, it seems like.
Everybody else is like, okay, don't worry, we got you. We'll do like a round of shows. You can get your bank back up.
And it seems like Derek Whibley's calling the shots. Like, he sold the discography, he released a book. He's like, it's time.
Yeah.
I'm sure the rest of the band isn't too stoked to be wrapping it up.
The rest of the band is probably like, well, like, we kind of like getting checks.
I feel like you gotta be retired at least 10 years to
Yeah.
have a reunion show.
I think that's probably
At least for
fair.
people to care about it, right?
Well, I think it depends. For the fans, it depends on whether you got tickets to the quote-unquote last ride.
I know so many people in high school that paid an arm and a leg to go to that final show for Alexis on Fire in Hamilton just for like, I don't know, 2 years later them to get back together.
For them to come roaring back. But if you didn't get tickets to that final show,
Then you're excited.
2 years later, you're like, hell yeah, let's get back at it.
I just
So-
feel like it's like your buddy that constantly breaks up with his girlfriend. Like the first few times, you're like, dude, I feel bad for you. But then
Right.
after a while, you're like, all right, man, whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
it's hard to take them seriously once you start hitting like Kiss numbers of like, no, for real, we're done this time. And it's like, okay, Gene, pat on the head.
yeah. You're just like my parents putting off the divorce at that point.
Nobody's buying it anymore. The magic is gone.
You're saying you're staying together for the kids, but who is it really for? You know?
The Brock and Dobby Podcast.
I was thinking, because you are getting the gears on the text line again today about being the vacation king.
I'm sorry. I had this book before anything. All right, I had this book since like October.
I want to make you a deal because we love doing bets on this show. We're gambling men. Have you looked at the set list at all, or are you trying to keep this a surprise?
I was trying to keep it a surprise.
Okay, I trust you. I look in your eyes. I trust you when you say this. If you can guess what song they have been opening with on this tour, specifically the last tour date they did, which is Winnipeg. I have the set list up. If you can guess what song they open with, you get your vacation day. If you get it wrong, then you have to come in tomorrow. You have to drive
No.
back from the show and come back.
I'm not driving back from St. Catharines
Come
to
on.
come back tomorrow.
You don't trust yourself? You don't think you can do it?
I paid my hard-earned money for this ticket.
Right. So you go to the show, and then because you're not a real Sum 41 fan who can't name the opening song, you have to come back.
I'm going regardless if I get this right or wrong. I'm going to say it's either Motivation or the Hell Song.
Damn it.
That's right?
It's Motivation, and number 2 is the
In that
Hell
order?
song. Yeah.
Hell yeah, it is, dude. I've seen this band way too many times.
All right. Enjoy. How many times have you seen them?
5?
5 times. So this will be 6.
Yeah.
Damn, man. A full 6-pack of Sum 41 shows.
Yeah.
And how long you been in radio now? What's your career at?
I started when I was 19, so 11 years now.
Damn. Okay, so you know your Sum 41 hits. Let's keep going here. Do you know if you've been to 5 shows before? They do covers at some of their shows. They've been doing 2 back-to-back covers on this set. Do you know what they are?
I've seen them do Master of Puppets before.
That's one.
And
I will say the other one is a very often chosen song on Fire Me Up Friday here on this show.
is it Pantera?
No,
It's not Pantera.
No.
Slayer? Raining Blood?
Raining Blood.
Yeah, all right.
Back
okay.
to back, they do that.
That'll be
one.
pretty cool. Oh, yeah, because Dave Brown sounds a big Slayer guy, so yeah.
Okay, you got the first 2 songs, last 2 songs before the encores. The last 2 songs of the main set. How do you think they wind it up?
Okay, so I know an encore is usually In Too Deep, so I'm going to go, Fat Lip.
Damn.
Yeah?
Binked it. And then The last song of the set?
Still Waiting.
You know what?
Am I right?
Go with God and enjoy the show.
Hell yeah, dude.
What a fan.
And then am I right on the encore's In Too Deep?
It's 3 songs. By the way, just for your own sake, double encore.
Double encore.
Double encore. But the end of the first encore, they play 3 songs. The third song?
In Too Deep?
In Too Deep.
And then they do a second encore?
They do a second encore, 1 song. If you guess this, you're the ultimate Sum 41 fan.
I'm guessing because it's like their final shows, they're going to go sappy. Little bit of a deep cut. It's from Chuck.
Yeah.
I'm going to go So Long Goodbye.
All right, man, you looked at the set list. I don't even believe you anymore. You're lying to me now.
Die Hard fan. Die Hard fan.
All right, brother. Well, enjoy. I mean, you're going to have to drive your ass off to get there, but enjoy the show.
How dare you try and take my day away from me? I haven't had enough time off.
I'm just going to miss you, that's all.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
A 52-year-old man in Florida was arrested after he hit another man in the head with a plate at a wedding. Could you take a wild guess on why he did this, Dalby?
Okay, so he intentionally took a plate and struck a man. This wasn't like a Opa situation.
No,
the plate went
he
astray.
hit a guy, yeah.
I'm going to say that the guy who got hit took the last of something at the food line.
Ooh, very good guess.
Yeah?
You're right on there. Would you like to take a guess on what food item it was?
Ooh, what did he take? Florida was the last of the gator meat?
It wasn't the last of the gator meat.
He took the last Michelob Ultra.
He cut in line of the prime rib.
The prime rib. Oh, you know what? People have fought over less. I get it.
So what it was the guy was in line and allowed his daughter and another girl to cut in line with him.
Yeah.
And this Florida man was not feeling it at all. So he shouted at the man and the guy just ignored him.
Well, as
so
he
he
should.
Walked over, shattered a plate on his head, and then started a scuffle with multiple guests.
Damn, buffet rage is a real thing, man.
Someone called the police, and the man has now been arrested and charged with aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. No word if he ever did get his prime rib, though.
Hey, brother, what are you in for? Hit a man with a plate over some prime rib.
Really sucks to go to jail over food. Every morning that you wake up there and you look at the food you're eating, you're like, damn it.
Although, now he's ready. If someone cuts in front of him in the chow line in the cafeteria, he's going to know what to do.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Donald Trump's been president of the United States for just over 3 days now and has done a bunch of stuff in terms of sort of sweeping out the old administration and starting things that he wants done. And one of the big things that he did was pardoning, I think it was over 1,500 people who were involved in the whole January 6th thing.
Yeah.
Down in Capitol Hill. And so there's one guy that keeps coming up in the news. His name is Stuart Rhodes.
Is that the guy with the eye patch?
That dude is terrifying. First of all, apparently he got the eye patch because he shot himself with his own gun by accident.
Oh, okay.
Which kind of ruins the mystique of the whole thing. But this guy keeps coming up in all of my news feeds, my timelines and stuff like that, because both the right side are celebrating all these people being freed. The left side are complaining.
But he's the
about all
best
these people.
photo to use.
He is easily the best representative of the whole thing. And it just got me thinking, I was like, the eye patch is the most terrifying thing, intimidating thing, maybe is a better word, that a person can wear. Because if you look at a picture, and text eye patch to 762-555, we'll send you a picture of him. You take your hand and you just cover the eye patch in the picture, and this dude kind of looks like a frail old man.
Sure.
But then you move your hand back and you're like, oh, that's the villain from a Bond movie.
I do think he's got a little swagger to him of you could picture him at the rally.
100%. Yeah.
So I will say, I do think the eye patch depends on who. It's kind of like a leather vest, right? Like Stone Cold Steve Austin looks absolutely badass wearing a leather vest and basically underwear.
But if I came in wearing the same thing,
It's not the same thing.
not going to work.
It's
for
not
you.
the same thing, you know?
Okay, what if I came in wearing an eye patch? Because I don't feel like I'm a particular intimidating person. But if I walked in here tomorrow with the big black eye patch looking like I just got out of a Bond movie,
Yeah.
do you feel a little bit more nervous around me?
No,
No?
I don't think you can pull off an eye patch. I'm not going to lie. Man.
What kind of person pulls off an eye? What makes you an eye patch guy?
I think you've got to look a little bit rough around the edges.
Am
you
I
know?
a little too soft? That's the problem?
I'm not calling you soft.
Well, I feel like you kind of are.
It's the same thing with a suit, right? Some guys look very handsome, very dressed up, and then
Right.
other people put on a suit and it looks like you just got fired.
They look like they're on their way to a parole hearing.
Yeah, you look like Will Smith in The Pursuit of Happiness.
Okay, now hang on. Am I a suit guy? Do I pull off a suit?
Sometimes.
That didn't feel confident. So I'm not a leather vest guy. I'm not an eye patch guy. I'm not a suit guy.
You're an oversized shirt and some sweatpants kind of guy.
Damn, that is me.
That is you, brother.
Everybody's got a style, and mine is not particularly intimidating.
Some guys look very badass dressing up as knights. Others not so much.
Well, I couldn't even pull off chainmail?
It's a lot of chainmail.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
I saw a story yesterday that I was like, we have to talk about this. It is just incredible. An 84-year-old man was in a laundromat doing his laundry, specifically switching things over into the dryer, when a dude comes in a balaclava ski mask and starts demanding his wallet. He's like, give me your wallet, give me your money. I'm robbing you.
Yeah.
And the old man is really smart. At first, he just starts yelling, trying to make as big a scene as possible.
Smart move.
There's no one else in the laundromat, but maybe he's trying to attract somebody from outside. Just when the robber looks like he's giving, all right, I don't want the trouble. He comes back in, and the old man turns around and wallops him with his pants.
Is there video of this?
There is video of this. Check this out.
Oh. Oh. Gives you a couple good whacks.
Yeah, man.
What kind of jeans are those? That's a great advertisement.
Well, and here's the thing, because it looks like he's loading up the dryer, which means those pants are probably sopping wet.
Dude, wet denim to the face would sting.
Even wearing like a facial covering like a ski mask, that sucks.
With those boot cut, what do you think?
Old man like that? Yeah, probably pretty straight lace. Probably some good old working man's jeans.
Those are some Levi's for sure.
I don't imagine this dude's wearing like Jenkos, you know what I mean? Although, wet Jenko jeans, you could probably catch a charge for like assault with a deadly weapon.
Oh, yeah.
If you hit somebody with those.
Honestly, in general, like if you got some denim that's got holes in it and then you can get a better grip on it and everything.
Start whipping them around. Get a little like when you used to wind up your towel to snap somebody.
Corduroy pants you could probably do some damage with as well.
Khakis probably not so much.
You get some of those like True Religion bedazzled jeans.
From like the Affliction era?
Yo, you could do some damage, man.
You probably are now moving from self-defense to assault, brother.
Yeah. You get bedazzled in the face.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Do you want to start or should I start?
I'll start, sure, yeah. 84-year-old man fights off mugger using wet jeans. You know, this is good. Stories like this really turn the tide against crime.
Oh, tide. Okay, I getcha. 84-year-old man fights off mugger using wet jeans. I guess anything can be a weapon when you're in distress. Got the guest
jeans.
And the guest jeans in there at the beginning, yeah.
84-year-old man fights off mugger using wet jeans, which made it super easy for the cops to wrangler the crook.
Ooh, okay. 84-year-old man fights off mugger using wet jeans. I hope this old man's grandkids have these fearless jeans.
I had a very similar one. Some people think heroes are a result of their upbringing, but this is proof that it's in their genes.
It's in the jeans. 84-year-old man fights off mugger using wet jeans. Do you think he Levi'd with any stitches? That one was a bit of a stretch.
84-year-old man fights off mugger using wet jeans. And I'll say this. Robbing someone when they're folding their underwear, when they're vulnerable like that, should be a laundromatic prison sentence.
That's a stretch. That's a real stretch.
As a dad, I'm really proud of that one.
I got one more.
Okay.
84-year-old man fights off mugger using wet jeans. I hope this suspect is caught and he finds his true religion.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Crikey. It's time for Animal Impressions with Croc and Digby. Sorry, Brock and Dalby.
All right, we've got a $100 Lotto 649 ticket for Saturday's jackpot on the line here.
$24 million up for grabs in the Gold Ball jackpot. Guaranteed $1 million prize. Classic $5 million draw as well.
And we've got three Tasmanian devils on the phone right now.
It's a wild noise.
That's the impression we're looking for this morning.
It's pretty easy to see where the Looney Tunes people got the idea for Taz. When you hear the action, it doesn't spin in a circle and make a tornado, but it certainly does sound like it could.
If you're not one of our three little devils this morning, that does mean you are a judge. So 762-555, let us know who you think does the best impression. We will start with line 1 here. Hey, good morning. Who's this?
Good morning. It's Marie.
Marie, how you doing?
And my kids. Yeah. Doing good.
Are you ready to play animal impressions? This is what we're looking for. Believe it or not, that is the real sound of a Tasmanian devil.
Okay, I'll try.
All right, whenever you're ready, Marie, let's hear it.
Okay. Okay.
It sounds like Dalby when I share a hotel with him and he forgets his sleep apnea machine.
You promised you'd never talk about that.
All right, Marie, stay on hold, okay?
Okay, thanks.
All right, let's see who's on line 2.
Hot start.
Caller number 2, what's your name?
Jesse.
Jesse, all right, my man, here's what we're looking for. Do you think you can do that for us, Jesse?
I have no idea. We're going to try, though.
Hell yeah, Jesse.
Let's see.
All right.
Terrifying.
For having no confidence, you nailed it.
Good
bud.
job, Jesse.
All right.
Stay on hold here. All right, we had Marie, we had Jesse. Let's see who's on line 3. Hey, good morning. Who's this?
It's Cole.
Cole, all right, you're in the sweet spot. You've got to hear everyone else. What do you think of the competition this morning?
I don't know. We'll see.
All right, here's what we're looking for. Let's see what you got, Cole.
All right.
That's just me when I wake up in the morning, brother.
All right, Cole, stay on hold.
Oh, I lived through another day?
Sounded like he needed to get that one out. I hope that helped him.
That was therapeutic.
Line 1, line 2, line 3. What are we thinking this morning?
We had Marie. Marie put in a great effort. We had Cole, and hey, Cole was here too.
Yeah.
I'm a Jesse guy.
Jesse did kill it.
Jesse nailed it.
All right, it was the text line. Yeah, the text line's all Jesse this morning, too. Jesse, are you still there, my man?
Oh, yeah, we're here.
Congratulations. You get yourself a ding and a round of applause. And, of course, $100 in Lotto 649 tickets for Saturday's draw, all right?
All right. Thanks, boys.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Duck Dynasty is making a comeback.
It really is a dark time in our world.
I never realized Duck Dynasty ended.
I was okay with it. I wasn't missing it. There was no part of me that was like, you know, it'd be great if we could have a bunch of kind of dicey rednecks making duck calls.
My old man used to love that show. It was always on TV.
Brother, a lot of people's old men loved that show, all right? It was a sign of the times.
Apparently, they're coming back, and it's supposed to focus on their kids taking over the Duck Commander business.
Well, I would have to focus on the kids. Those guys have to be well past their prime by now, right? Like,
It does say Uncle Si will be back, and that was my favorite.
that's the super old one,
That's
right?
the super old one.
How many tubes is that guy going to be hooked up to trying to make those duck calls with?
As long as he can get those one-liners out, that's all that matters.
Oh, God.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
You should send us a text. 762-555. You can ask us anything that you want.
That's so kind of you.
You can ask us all your questions, and we'll try to reply. Just send it over to us. 762-555. Little soul for you here this morning.
I felt that. I felt that in my heart.
When a man loves a woman, they usually text each other. And if you love this show, then you should text us. Even if you hate this show. When a man hates a radio show, he texts into the show, too.
We have, honestly, that is very true. We have found that to be very, very true over the years.
If either of you were not working in radio, A, what would you want to be doing for a job, or where do you think you would be?
I think where I want to and where I think I would be is probably the same thing. Before I got the bug to want to get into radio, I really wanted to do stuff with computers. I've always been a big fan of tech and computing and stuff like that. So I think I would probably be doing something along that angle, and I would probably be a lot more miserable than I am now.
Probably just would have worked in the trades. I mean, I was supposed to do an electrical, like, OYAP program in grade 12, and then I started volunteering at a radio station and bailed on that.
See, I have these soft hands.
Yeah.
I can't work a real job.
I think I could be an electrician because I don't like sweeping up after myself.
Oh, there you go.
And from what I've heard.
That's half the training right there.
From what I've heard. A lot of you electricians don't like cleaning up after yourselves. That's just the rumor around, you know?
Barb says, why are baby carrots all the same shape and size? No two carrots are the same, but the bag of little carrots are all the same. It's just because they're shaved down from bigger carrots, right?
I've never thought about that before. That's a high thought.
That's my understanding.
Barb's got the munchies this morning.
Baby carrots are just carrots that have been chopped up and rounded off for your baby mouth.
Yeah.
That's what they're for.
Someone said, what's a random life hack that you swear by? I've told you this one before. It's the free breakfast at hotels. If you're ever on the road,
Right.
If you just walk into a hotel and they have like a morning breakfast thing, they're never going to stop you.
Mine is the clipboard, the power of the clipboard. If you have a clipboard and if you combo it with a high-vis vest, you can get into almost anywhere that you want to go.
Another life hack is that if you're bored of your sandwich, just turn it over.
Really?
If you flip over your sandwich, you get a whole different angle on it. It makes you appreciate your sandwich a little bit. It works for lovers, too. Just say.
That's one of them unethical life hacks.
Yeah,
I think is what that last one is there, brother.
Someone said, if you could send one message to the entire world all at once, what would it be?
Oh, I've heard this before. I like the idea of it being like important info to follow or something that would get people like waiting to hear more and then going crazy because they didn't get a follow-up.
I'd love to do the South Park thing and then just bust out the recorder and do the brown noise.
Make everybody go at the same time.
Yeah. See if it works, right?
The thing is that would also probably be better than mine because I would do it in English, obviously, and then 6 billion people would be like, I don't know what just happened.
Yeah, exactly.
They wouldn't have any idea what I just said.
Someone said, why don't more restaurants use Doritos as a base for nachos? You know what? Good point.
I feel like probably because it's just more expensive.
Yeah.
Like you can get tortilla chips dirt cheap if you buy them in bulk.
I will say nachos burn, or like Doritos burn very quickly when you're making nachos.
That is true. If you put Doritos in the oven, you do have to be very attentive, which is tough because if you put Doritos in the oven, you're probably currently dealing with a lack of attention.
All right, final one here. Someone said you have 5 minutes to prepare for a guy to enter your house and he's going to attempt to kill you.
Oh.
What are you doing to prepare?
Leaving.
Yeah,
why am I staying?
I'm not gonna wait around.
You're giving me a 5-minute head start. My car is right out the door. See you later, jerk.
Depends on how I felt in the morning, I guess.
I'm not sticking around. I just got that.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Ed's word of the day.
Let's see what he's got.
Good morning. Now, today's word is gubbins. Yep, gubbins. Gubbins. Gubbins.
Gubbins?
And it's excess fish pairings. Or British is it's a foolish person. You imagine, don't be such a gubbins.
Can you rewind that? Did you understand the first part?
What was the first definition?
I heard the foolish person.
Yeah.
Or British is it's a foolish person.
No, you got to go back from there.
You imagine, don't be such a gubbins.
Anyways, said, like,
that's
fish
it.
bearings.
Have a great one. Cheers her up.
All right. Gubbins it is.
Gubbins it is, Gov.
So just a foolish person is what it means?
I guess so, yeah. It's basically something you would call someone who's being an idiot.
It's a great chirp, actually, Gubbins.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm all for, we always need more words to keep it spicy, to keep things, because if you just call someone an idiot over and over and over again, dummy, all those words, eventually it gets boring. Mix in a Gubbins every now and again.
Well, you can catch someone slipping too if you're like, "What's up, Gubbins?" And then they're like, "Hey, I got a new nickname."
Yeah. And then they go home and Google it and go, "Oh."
Also, according to Google, it also says it can refer to a collection of objects that have little value. So even better as a church.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. You go over to your buddy's garage. Look at all the Gubbins in here. Clean it up, man.
Hello, Gubner.
You're the king of the idiots. You're the Gubner.
Gubbins. Use it wherever you can. I'm sure you can find someone to use it on today.
For more Brock and Dalby, tune in weekday mornings 5:30 to 9.
The Brock and Dalby podcast is brought to you by badshop.ca, the Brock and Dalby merch store. With all proceeds going to the Canadian Cancer Society.